welcome to our Monday Minute. Today, I'd like to discuss with you the aspect of the value-based purchasing model that will be rolled out in January of 2023 from the aspect of the OASIS items that will impact your value-based purchasing total performance score. The OASIS items that are included in value-based purchasing include the dyspnea question, M1400, discharge to community, 2420, improvement in management of oral meds, 2020. And then we have two total normalized composite change scores in self-care and mobility, with mobility including three items, M1840, 1850, and 1860, and the change in self-care is 1800, 10, 20, 30, 45, and 70. The normalized composite change scores are basically taking for mobility 3 OASIS items, for self-care 6 OASIS items, and in each of these composite situations, they are doing a calculation of the score for the individual OASIS item, and then those are combined so that there is one composite score for self-care and one for mobility. And so basically the composite change methodology is just to basically put everything on the same playing field. So if you look, for example, at the ambulation question, there are 6 levels of change that are possible. If you go from the 0 response on that OASIS to the number 6 response, or if you start at 6, which means the patient is non-ambulatory basically, and then improve them to a 0, which is the most independent, then you would have shown 6 levels of change. In other OASIS items in that composite change section, they do not have 6 levels of possibility of change because they don't have 6 options to respond to on the OASIS. And so because of that, if an ambulation question had 3 levels of change out of 6 possible, then that means you improved ambulation 50%. If you had a change in one of the other items that only had 4 possible options and you changed that one 3 levels, then that would be a 75% change in that patient instead of a 50% change as it is with ambulation. So basically they're taking a percentage of the possible levels of change as compared to the actual change that occurred, so that the percentages are put together to make more sense for the overall change in the patient's mobility and in self-care in the item that requires 6 questions. And so this is a change that occurred in the 4th year of the value-based purchasing demonstration that occurred over the course of 5 years in the 9 value-based purchasing states. The prior system included all of those items that are in those composite measures now were individually scored OASIS items. So that was a really big change. And do understand also that they gave those composite change questions a heavier weight because they included multiple items while we were still in the demonstration. But for this nationwide rollout, those composite scores that will be 1 score again with multiple items within it, that 1 score will carry the exact same weight as all of the other items in the calculation of the total performance score. I shouldn't say they carry the same weight because they are weighted a little bit heavier, but they will only have the maximum point option of 10 for achievement or 9 for improvement, just like all the other items. The OASIS section, so the items that we've just listed, again, dyspnea, discharge to community, improvement in oral meds, and then the 2 composite measures, those 5 OASIS related items will make up 35% of your total performance score. So that is assuming that you have a score calculation for the claims-based measure and that you have a score for HH caps. If you were not to have enough HH cap scores, as we discussed in a previous minute, you won't have a calculation for HH caps, and therefore it would increase your OASIS impact to 50% of your total score, and the claims-based measure is the other 50%. So as far as OASIS is concerned, and nothing has changed in the fact that it impacts everything. It impacts outcomes, your star ratings, now value-based purchasing, and many of the items, especially the 1800 section, currently impact your day-to-day HIPS code reimbursement. Diligence with OASIS is absolutely necessary, and I don't have to tell any of you that, but the reality of OASIS E also becoming a factor in January of 2023 just makes the intensity of your OASIS education that more important as we begin to move through the remaining months of 2022 to prepare for 2023. I hope this has given you a little insight today on the huge impact that these specific OASIS items will have with the nationwide value-based purchasing rollout. If you have any specific questions, please don't hesitate to let us know. Please stay tuned, as always, to your state and national associations for home care and hospice, and we hope to see you at a live conference soon. Have a great week.